Okay, so today we're going to enjoy this story. How did that get in my lunchbox? The story of food. Let's see some examples of all the great food that one might find in their lunchbox. One of the best parts of the day is when you lift the lid of your lunchbox to see what's inside. Your parents have packed it with lots of tasty things to eat. They probably got all the food from a grocery store, but food doesn't grow in stores. So where did it come from before it was in the store? How did all this food get in your lunchbox? How did the bread in your sandwich get in your lunchbox? A farmer planted seeds in spring, and by summer they had grown into tall, waving wheat with fat, ripe grains at the tip of every stalk. The farmer cut the wheat with a giant combine harvest and sent it to a flour mill. Grains. The miller ground the grains into flour, and trucks took the flour to a bakery. The baker mixed the flour with water, sugar, and yeast, kneaded it into a soft, squishy dough, and baked it in a very hot oven. Out came fresh loaves of bread, ready to send to the store. Take a bite of the bread in your sandwich. Crusty on the outside and soft in the middle. How did the cheese in your sandwich get in your lunchbox? Your cheese was once milk that came from a cow. A farmer milked the cows, and a tanker from the dairy came to collect the milk. In the dairy, cheese makers warm up the milk and add bacteria to make it turn sour and thick. Then they add a substance that animals use to digest milk called rennet, and it changed again into bits called curds floating in whey. They drained off the whey, chopped up the rubbery curds, added some salt, and pressed them into blocks. They stored the blocks for months until the cheese was ripe. Bite into your cheese. It's creamy and smooth, but tasty too, and tingly on your tongue. How did the tomatoes get in your lunchbox? Last summer, your tomatoes were growing in a big plastic tunnel full of tomato plants. The sun and the warmth made the plants grow tall and bloom with yellow flowers. As each flower died, a tiny green tomato fruit began to grow from its middle. Day by day, the plants sucked up water, and the tomatoes swelled from green to orange to red. When bunches of ripe scarlet tomatoes dangled from the branch, the growers picked them, sorted them, packed them, and sent them to the store. Pop one in your mouth and squish the sweet sour juice out. How did the apple juice get in your lunchbox? Last spring, apple trees in the orchard were full of flowers. In summer, the tiny apple buds grew from each flower stalk. The buds kept growing, and by autumn the trees were full of ripe, sweet fruit. Pickers climbed into the trees and filled their bins with fruit. A truck took the bins to the juice factory, where sorters threw out any rotten apples. Then a machine washed the rest and mashed them with a milling machine, seeds, skin, and all. A huge press squeezed the mash till all its juice ran out. A heater warmed up the juice to kill off any germs and poured it into cartons. Suck hard on your straw to taste the apple tang. How did carrots get in your lunchbox? Last spring, your carrots were growing in a field on a vegetable farm. You wouldn't have seen any carrots, just long rows of feathery leaves. As the leaves grew taller in the summer sun, each carrot root pushed deeper into the earth, soaking up water and turning orange. By late summer, they had swelled so much that the top of each carrot poked out of the earth. Then the carrots were washed and packed into trucks. Bite into your carrot. See just how sweet and crunchy it tastes. How did the chocolate chip in your cookie get in your lunchbox? Cookies are made from flour, sugar, and butter, and this one's got chocolate chips in it. Chocolate starts off as a bean, well, lots of beans, which grow in pods on cocoa trees. The pods are picked from the tree. Then they are cut open and the beans are scooped out. These beans are spread out and left to dry in the sun. The dried beans are taken to a factory, sometimes on the other side of the world. In the factory, they're cleaned, roasted, and ground into thick, sticky paste. Sugar is mixed in, so the paste gets sweeter, but it's still gritty, so it's squeezed, stirred, melted, and cooled to make it really smooth. It takes a lot of work to make chocolate. Finally, the chocolate is molded into bricks. These are made into little chips that will melt in your mouth all over again. How did your clementine get in your lunchbox? Early in the summer, the trees in the clementine grove were full of sweet-smelling, waxy flowers. As the flowers died, a tiny green clementine berry began to grow out of each one. The clementines swelled in the warm sun, turning from green to yellow. By the time cooler winter weather arrived, the clementines had turned orange and were so heavy and full of juice that they made the branches droop. Pickers climbed ladders to reach them. They had to wear gloves so they didn't bruise the tender fruit inside. They washed them and packed them, and the grower sent the boxes in trucks to the market. It's easy to peel a clementine. Then all you have to do is pop the juicy pieces into your mouth and bite. Most clementines are seedless. You've eaten it all, from the first bite of bread to the last piece of fruit. It came from fields and farms, from orchards and from groves, and from dairies. So many people helped bring it to you. Farmers and bakers, cheese and chocolate makers, pickers, packers, and truck drivers. Now it's all in your stomach, starting to do the job that food does, helping you grow taller and stronger and giving you get up and go. Our food gives us energy that we need to live. You need more than lunch to make you grow and to keep you healthy. Each day you need to choose food from each of the sections on this plate. Most of your food should come from the fruits and vegetables and carbohydrate section. So carbohydrates, these foods fill you up fast and give you energy to keep growing. So these are like our grains. Over here we've got our fruits and vegetables. Your body needs lots of these to keep you healthy. Over here we have dairy. These are the bone builders. They also help your teeth grow strong. Protein. These are body builders to help you grow the extra inches. These foods are just as important as carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, but your body doesn't need as much of them. Then there's this stuff that you eat as a treat. Just a little of these is enough. Food facts. Right here, I'll just read these to you. Your body is made up mostly of water, so you need at least 6 drinks a day to keep yourself topped up. Most of these drinks should be water, not soda, which has lots of sugar in it. Your body is growing all the time, even when you're asleep. So remember, don't skip breakfast. It gets your body through the day. Too much sitting around won't keep your body healthy. It doesn't matter whether you chase a ball, your dog, or your friends, but spend about an hour a day on the move. It's good to eat 5 different kinds of fruits and vegetables every day. Why not try a new one this week? And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this book.